What's up, everybody? It's your girl Francis with the T on everything going on the cruise, and welcome back to Cruise Tripping TV. We now have this nice video of us getting on to the Carnival Conquest and our trip to Celebration Key. So let's go. Our first arrival up to Port of Miami, we got a good view of the Carnival Conquest as it sits waiting for us. We were on the shuttle there. Next up, we got through the line there pretty quickly. All of us were going through the terminal. Guys, excuse the sweat stains on my shirt. We were very hot, very sweaty. It was a long drive. Next up, we were in line to put cash on our sign and sell cards and do our payments of what we wanted. As you can see, there's a lot of luggage that's left over, so make sure you use your luggage tags when you are checking in your bags, okay? So next thing, we stopped at Guy's Burgers, y'all. We were hungry. And you know how Guy's Burgers is. If you know, you know. Guy's Burgers is always good, okay? All right, so this was also a birthday cruise for a lot of my friends. And I did get their rooms decorated. So this is my one friend walking in, and this is her birthday celebration going on. So she enjoyed that. This was our first night's dinner, guys. As you can see, it was not very good at all, but the dining room itself was very nice and the staff was awesome. They did great every night that we were there, so I was very impressed. We got back to our room and saw the towel animal and knew it was almost time to take a nap, go to sleep. Then the next morning we did get up and get breakfast, and we had a great brunch in the dining room and decided to help celebrate my bestie's birthday. We wore white and gold for formal night and went and sat and ate for dinner, and we had a great time that evening celebrating all the birthday girls. We got 3 of them with us for the cruise, and we had a wonderful time. There's the one birthday girl there. Yep, it's her. She's the culprit. We did an 80s theme night in the club, and y'all, the club was really good. It was really popping. As you can see, everybody was getting down, and it got really thick in there real quick, okay? So if you ever go on Carnival, go on the theme night, R&B and Hip Hop 2000s, I believe it was. The next day, we went on an excursion at Princess Key on a glass bottom boat ride. It was very beautiful. We got to feed fish when we were out there. We got to see some beautiful sights. My friend lost her hat. A beautiful man from the island decided to dive in and get her hat out the ocean. Don't get me started, it's a long story, but we actually had a really, really good time. George, if you're out there, my friend is still looking for you so she can thank you for getting her hat out of the ocean. But it was a very beautiful time that was had. We did not stay out there for too long on the beach. We decided to go back to the ship, but we actually had a great time. We did a little shopping out there, grabbed a few drinks. You can see our ship from the port at Princess Keys. So we actually had a great time and saw some beautiful ocean water. The tour was great. The tour guides were great, and I'm so sorry I did forget their names, but when I come across it again, it's probably in one of the videos. I will do a shout out on the page because you guys did a great job. Especially retrieving a hat. That was the highlight of the whole thing, is the retrieval of the doggone hat. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal how he retrieved that hat. So anyways, so we had a great time. When we got back to the ship, we did rest a little bit, and then we decided to eat. Once we ate, we decided to sleep again. The sun beat us down. As you can see, all of us had our hats on. That's the one that lost the hat, y'all. And we all was just, trying to chill and relax and get caught up from traveling and all of that. And the sea day, we didn't do that. I know for myself, I walked around quite a bit on the ship, and we tried to do a lot of things. You try to cram in everything in one day, and that it wears down on your body. So you don't want to do that. Don't be like us. Do not go out there trying to do everything on the first day, second day. But this was the glass bottom tour that we were on. Again, very, very beautiful scenery, seeing the different corals underwater and seeing all of the different sea life underwater. And it was very amazing. you guys take a minute to check that out. We did feed some of the fish. You can see them jumping out of the water trying to get food from us. They were hungry. They wanted some food. We just gave them a little bit of bread, y'all. Nothing harmful to them, nothing harmful to the ocean. And they ate it, so it wasn't like it was going to float to the bottom and disturb anything else. They ate that. Here we are now at Celebration Key. Got some good views of the port. They are adding to the port so they can bring in 4 ships instead of just the 2. It was us and I believe the Carnival Freedom, if I'm not mistaken, or the Glory, one of those ships. They have trams that come to pick you up at the port so you don't have to walk that long trail. It was extremely hot, so we decided to get on the tram so that we could, relax a little before being in the sun all day, because it is a beach day. When you go on these private islands, you are going to enjoy a lot of the amenities, but Celebration Key was gorgeous, you guys. Very relaxing on the tram. Our tram driver, he did answer some questions for me about Celebration Key, and he seemed very, very excited to be there. He seemed very informative about what was going on. And that's very good to have the workers know exactly what's going on, what's happening, and things that you can do on the island, because you don't know. And because it's a new island, you need to be asking questions about what's going on. What's the best thing to do? Where do we not want to go? I asked him that. He said, hey, if it's a group of your girls, you don't want to go to the kids area. I said, okay, cool. Got it. This is the nice little arch of Celebration Key, the Carnival Celebration Key sign. It's beautiful. You can see the beautiful, beautiful sandcastle or sun castle behind the sign. I kept telling my friends to get out of the video. I'm like, I'm recording. They're like, yeah, okay. And they still got in the video anyway. So, which is not a problem. They don't care. They knew I was working and vacationing. So, and then you can also see, them taking pictures of everything. It was just gorgeous, guys. It was a beautiful entrance. It's what you could imagine for a private island. And even more. This is one of the first times I've ever been to a private island of this sort. I've never been to Coco Key. I've never been to Great Stirrup Key from the other cruise lines. So this was my first time being on a private island, and it was beautiful. Calypso Lagoon was where we ended up, I believe. And let me tell you something about restrooms. They had restrooms everywhere. And that's a good thing, because they had bars everywhere. So when you come in, you have a bar to your left. You have more of the kids stuff to your right. Right in front of you is the sun castle and the shops. And we walked through. There's a couple of shops in between there before you get through the sun castle. But you see that beautiful, beautiful lagoon for Calypso Lagoon. It's gorgeous. There's that castle with those slides, and it was already sold out when we booked our cruise. We did not know, and this is very good to know, that you have to book the slide if you want to slide. Those are my friends posing. We got in the water. We had a ball. They were playing some really good music out there, y'all. They even played the thong song, so we started dancing in the water and singing that song. Everybody remember Cisco, right? But you have to reserve those slides, you guys, well in advance. So when you book your cruise, see if it's available. If you're booking late, I guarantee you it's probably already sold out. So make sure that you try to book that early. That's the swings and the bar for the swings. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. They were full when we first walked by. But once we got in the water and chilled out for a while, we were able to go back and get on those swings, which you guys will see a picture or video of that coming up here soon. I took a lot of video of the lagoon. It was just gorgeous, guys. Calypso Lagoon at that time was 18 and up, so it was supposed to be adults only. As you can see, there are children around. They did change it. They decided that they weren't going to limit it to 18 and up, so now it's 13 and up. So yes, you will see children running around in what was the adults only area, unfortunately. But there are a lot of navigational signs. There's lockers to rent. There's small, not small, but vending machines that are around. If you forgot sunscreen, if you forgot sunglasses, they have shops all over the place for you to buy stuff. That's probably us singing the thong song right there, because we were just having a good time, just vibing and having a great time. Got a great tan that day. I still have that tan from being out in the sun, and we just had a great time and just wading in the water, y'all. Just wading in the water. It was so much fun. Janice don't have no good sense. Anyway, so we really did have a great time there. While they were still playing around in the water like little girls, I did decide to walk around on the beach a little bit and get some footage of different things that's available. It's a nice little what do you call those things? I sat in and almost fell, y'all, but I tried my best. I almost fell and got a little sand in my braids. I was like, okay, whatever. And they have the cabana rentals that you can rent. They were very pricey, but for comfort all day long, it actually wasn't that bad. That's us at the swim up bar with the swings, guys, and that was very nice. So they have a volleyball court. They have a basketball court. They have a lot of lounging areas. I just thought it was so awesome how they had this all set up. If you don't want to be in the water all day, you can go do something else. Later on, I'm going to show you guys where you can look at or get your food from the food trucks, the free ones and the discounted food. And it tells you about no diving. That water is not that deep. It's only 5 foot deep. Even we got like in the middle, and it still wasn't, it came up to like my chin. So it wasn't that deep. So I wouldn't recommend diving either. Nice young man there. Gave him my information about booking cruises, because he's like, yeah, I want to do one. I'm like, cool, you work for the cruise line? Okay. But they had a lot of the concierge desk around. I was able to speak with a gentleman who delightedly took me to one of the private cabanas and gave me let me actually film it, y'all. It was the private area that they paid for, but he's like, come on, I'll show you. I was like, oh, you so cool. I appreciate you. So we really did go behind the scenes. You guys are going to see one of the private cabanas. This one actually has the swing off the edge. I'm sorry, not the swing. It's a slide. So you can slide right into the water. But he showed me the big one. A lot of the ones you're seeing right now is the smaller ones. But this is the bigger one. Cabana number 43. And it's got the hammock. It's got a sitting area, dining area, the little swing chair, the slide. It's got everything in there, y'all. It is beautiful in there. Like, you can eat a whole dinner in there. Like, it's like a whole little dining room. That's how I want my patio to look, y'all. Just like that. Of course, that's gonna cost me and my husband some money, so it ain't gonna happen right now. But he loved me enough, he might let me do it. But he gave me a tour of this and told me everything that there was to know about renting out these cabanas and how they can get sold out very quickly. And I was like, that's bizarre, because they run anywhere between $600 to $1,000. And he was like, yeah, but they still sell out. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I mean, but it's, sometimes it's a once in a lifetime vacation, and a lot of times people don't hold back, they splurge. A person like myself, I cruise quite a bit, so it's not worth it for me to do a cabana unless I'm taking like my whole family, and I mean like my whole family, like in-laws, immediate family, nieces and nephews, kids, everybody's going. That way we had that kind of room. But when it's just me and my kids and my husband, or it's just me and my husband, it's not gonna be worth the money for me. So this is one of the eateries. This one is at the discounted price. It's a barbecue place that's at the discounted price. When I tell y'all they have a lot of seating for the beach, you cannot get mad. It is a lot of seating. I'm assuming that sign's gonna change for the 18 and up. There's the Calypso Lagoon food trucks. And remember, there's food trucks on the other side too, in the what was at the time the kids area. And there is a kiosk for you to go up to order from a specific food truck. You order from that food truck, you go to that food truck, give them your ticket, they fix your food, and you're off to go. Remember, this is the one complimentary meal that is included while you're on the island. Anything after that will be charged to your sign and sell card. With Carnival, you will be using your sign and sell card for purchases on the island, or you have to bring something like a debit or credit card. They do not use cash at all. Again, cruises are a cashless system. They try to be as cashless as possible, except for in casinos and places like that. So you want to make sure you have an ample amount of cash on your sign and sell card or on your credit card. I do not recommend using a debit card. The tram system goes all the way around the island. This is when the tram stops where it comes to pick you up. And right across the street from here is their private beach club called Pearl Cove. This one is by purchase. I did not get to go in to record any footage of Pearl Cove. I wish I had another tour guide like the gentleman that I had for the private cabana. He probably would have got me in if I went back with like, hey, can you get me to Pearl Beach Club? You know what I'm saying? But I did not want to impose on him any longer. But it was beautiful, y'all. From what I could see, it is all private. It's warded off. You cannot get in there unless you have paid for it. You can see your ship from there. You get access to the beach from there. You have access to a restaurant in there, but there is still an upcharge. And of course, you have to use your sign and sell card while in there as well, unless you have paid for the upcharges ahead of time, which you can do in the Carnival Hub app. So here's some more land cabanas, what they call land cabanas. They're not exactly on the water. A lot of walkways. They kept it very, very clean, y'all. I ain't see no trash around. It didn't smell funny or nothing like that. It was beautiful. This is the open beach area. And actually a few weeks after we got back, there was an incident that took place where 2 people passed away on the island. So rest in peace to those folks. I don't know exactly the details of everything that happened. I wasn't privy to that information. But just make sure that you are being safe when you're out there. You're renting banana boats and all this other stuff to, have a good time. But, get a life vest if you can't swim, or don't go out there if you can't swim. I'm not a swimmer. I am only going to go in as much water as I can get up to maybe my nose. And that's pretty much it. Here's some more eateries, small eateries that were around for you guys to grab food from. And nice little sitting areas. And all this is, some of it's included and some of it was to pay for. This was a restaurant, guys, that people were lined up to get into. I told my friends we should have went there instead of getting the food truck, but we didn't know. But they had a little gift shop right there. I went around these folks just to get an idea of how many tables and chairs and everything they had out there. It was pretty big. It was pretty big. At this point, I have walked pretty much halfway around the whole lagoon on the Calypso Lagoon side. I did not get any footage of the children's side. As you can see, I'm walking straight through the water. Like, I went from one side, walked through the water to get to the other side. Just because I wasn't walking all the way back around. It was hot. The water tried to kind of cool me off. And y'all see those clouds back there? There was a storm that was coming our way. It was just a thunderstorm. It wasn't like a hurricane or anything. But we had some dark clouds coming our way, and yes, at the end we got a little rained on, and with that being said, we did end up going back to the ship a little early. It didn't rain that long, y'all, but we got back on the ship and we weren't gonna chance it. So I'm gonna give you guys my honest review of my entire cruise, but especially Celebration Key. So first off, the Carnival Conquest doesn't owe me anything. It was a beautiful, beautiful ship. It's old, but you know what? We had a wonderful time. We turned up. We had a great time. So I think my friends would agree and attest that we would go back on that ship again. And as far as Carnival Celebration Key goes, we actually had a wonderful time. And you know what? You got to try it for yourself. I am not going to be the one to convince you to do anything. Let me tell you, you got to do it for yourself. And that is it for my review of the Carnival Conquest and Celebration Key. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page for more content. And I shall see you guys later. Bye.